Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dad and Cole Football Patrol. This is what, number 5, Cole? We're here with episode number 5. This is number 3? I think it's number 5.
No, of our YouTube page.
Oh, so the actual third full episode people will be able to see, but the 5th one that we've done then. Am I saying that right? Yeah, that makes sense. Guess what? Breaking news! Breaking news! Tell the folks what's cooking in the NFL right now.
Nothing?
Nothing?
Brandin Cooks.
Let them know.
You say it.
You say it. You say it. Brandin Cooks got traded to the Rams from the Patriots. So, Cole, what do you think about this?
That's a boo.
All right, so let me give you my thoughts here. I don't like this for the Rams. I don't necessarily get what they're doing. I think they had a better and more complete talent in Sammy Watkins on the roster, who they did trade for, by the way, but they let get out of town. The Rams are giving up a first and a 6th-round pick.
No, the Patriots.
Oh, excuse me. No. The Patriots, the Rams are giving up a 1st-round pick and a 6th-round pick.
Oh, to get him, I get
The Rams are giving up a 1st-round pick and a 6th-round pick in return for Brandin Cooks and a 4th-rounder. I think I have the details on that right. But I don't know. I think Brandin Cooks in his best days may have been a bit of a product of playing in the Dome in New Orleans and playing for Drew Brees, who's a lights-out quarterback. He seemed to be lost in the shuffle to me a little bit in New England. Like he kept waiting for that connection with Brady to take off. You saw hints of it, but it never really materialized. So I don't know. I'm not really too big on this move, especially for the picks that the Rams gave up. All right, so speaking of Patriots, there are other trade rumors out there swirling about Gronk. Rob Gronkowski apparently is in the doghouse with Bill Belichick.
And also a retirement rumor.
You're right. So that's the other piece of this story, too. Gronk's been signaling a little bit that perhaps...
And he's only just 28 years old.
Yeah, so to your point, he's still on his prime, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you make of all this?
I think he's too young to retire. But, Tom Brady's at a perfect time to retire. He's 40 years old, so...
Yeah, no, I mean, to your point, there's kind of a shift maybe occurring in New England, but you'd have to think they still are wanting to get at least 2 more years out of Brady. Now, am I boring you? Or is my talking making you yawn? Oh my goodness gracious. So, Cole, if you're a GM out there, let's put your GM hat on. Are there any teams in the NFL that you think are lacking a tight end or maybe close to making a playoff push that could benefit with the services of a Rob Gronkowski?
I think the Chargers could maybe get him.
That's interesting. Gates is an older guy. I don't even know if he's playing again. They have Hunter Henry there, but yeah, by all means, they could definitely use a Gronk. Anyone else?
The Jets.
The Jets absolutely could use some offensive help. I don't know if they're close to making a playoff run, so that may not make sense for them.
Broncos?
The Broncos, yeah, that's actually a really good. I mean, they have the good receivers out on the end with Sanders and Thomas, but they really haven't had much of a tight end threat. Yeah, Julius Thomas a few years back for 1 year pop-off, but I think that's actually a great call on your point.
Because now they just got Case Keenum.
Exactly. And what's the new quarterback's best friend? Tight end.
So now we're doing Allen Robinson.
What about Allen Robinson?
He got traded to the Bears.
Well, I don't think he got traded. I think he signed as a free agent. But either way, though, putting that aside, let's talk about this. A big departure, I feel, for the Jacksonville Jaguars and a nice upgrade for the Bears. What do you think about Trubisky, and how's he feeling about getting a new weapon in town?
Trubisky, he's a young quarterback. He was okay last year, so that will give him a good target. He Allen Robinson is good for any play, even on slants.
Yeah, I agree. He's a complete route runner. He's kind of a physical, bigger guy. I think he got hurt last year, so he missed a good bit of the year last year. And look, Chicago, they already got... Am I making you yawn again? Chicago already has a really good running back tandem. So they got like the 1-2 punch, kind of the thunder lightning thing going on. And so you're going to add a legitimate wide receiver out there. I mean, the Bears have been searching for wide receiver talent. They had Kevin White was a pretty high draft pick and had injuries and never really materialized. So they've been looking for a solid, legitimate presence at the wideout position. And I think Allen Robinson definitely brings that. I think he was, 2 years ago tagged as one of the guys that was on the upswing to potentially be coming in that kind of top tier to just below the top tier of young receivers. So I think it's an interesting move for him.
Now we're going to talk about Jerick McKinnon.
Yes, so what's going on with Jerick McKinnon?
He got traded to the...
Well, I think...
49ers.
Yeah.
He signed with the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. You caught your own situation there. I think he signed as a free agent.
Now they're going to be a really good team because they have Jimmy Garoppolo, 5-0 with his career wins and loses. And also, on the defensive ball, they have Richard Sherman now.
Yeah, so listen, they've had the back end of the year when were able to make that trade for Garoppolo into this offseason. They've been making some moves, and you have to like on paper what they're doing. I like McKinnon. I think he got a little bit pigeonholed as like a third down back last year. Latavius Murray did start to come on for the Vikings a little bit and was running with some attitude and some force, so he started eating into McKinnon's play after Dalvin Cook got hurt. I thought McKinnon really was going to have a little bit of a bigger role. But again, I think McKinnon's more of a complete back than maybe what some other people think of him.
I yawned.
I didn't even notice that. Are you yawning over there? And I think Kyle Shanahan is a great offense for the running game. I think he knows how to coach up a good running game. So I look to see McKinnon to have a nice year and be a nice addition for the 49ers and for Garoppolo. Now, let me ask you this. On paper, are the 49ers a playoff team, yes or no?
Maybe.
And what do you think needs to happen in order for them to become that playoff team?
They need to get a good pick in the draft, because maybe they could get a defensive end. I know there's one defensive end that I'm talking about a lot about, Bradley Chubb.
Oh, you're high on him, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they could get him, or maybe if he's still available, it's third time, Saquon Barkley, but I would still make him the first round, the starter, not and then I would make McKinnon a third down running back.
Yeah, I agree with you. If somehow, I don't, it's probably a long shot, but if Barkley were to be able to land to the 49ers, I agree. He would have to be the full-time back, with McKinnon having more of a complementary role. But I like your first thought there with the defensive end. I mean, you can never have enough of a pass rush.
Because then that makes that causes fourth down faster, because and then that causes more turnovers with Richard Sherman.
You're exactly right. You got the back end solidified of your defense with Sherman. So if you can get a pass rush, hopefully you're either having 3 and outs or even better, creating turnovers.
Mhm.
Yeah, good assessment. I'm with you on that, buddy.
So now we're gonna talk about Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, so Malcolm Butler signed with the Tennessee Titans, a pretty big, lucrative contract from what I can see. And if folks who watch the Super Bowl, you would remember Malcolm Butler is the guy who got notified, what seemed like right before the national anthem, that he was not going to be getting played, that he was going to be riding the bench. Still kind of a murky situation. I don't know if we ever uncovered what that was all about. Malcolm Butler, a starter and legitimate contributor. I mean, clearly I didn't watch all of New England Patriots games, but from everything I read and heard,
was it the cornerback, the quarterback's coach, or was it just Bill Belichick who would say that? I wouldn't think Bill Belichick would say that, so that means the quarterback's coach would say it.
Well, I think in New England there's only one final voice on making a decision like that, and I think it would have to be Bill Belichick. And to me, that feels like a Belichickian type of move to try and kind of be too cute or overthink something and try and pull some sort of emotional string, or I don't know what he was thinking at that. But to me, he just kind of like wrecked the karma of his team at. Was that a yawn again? My goodness. So for the Titans, you have a pretty up-and-coming defense. You got, is it Kevin Byard or is it Kenny Byard?
No, Kevin.
Kevin Byard,
Not Kenny.
a Philadelphia guy in the secondary. I think they had Jonathan Cyprien in the secondary already there as well. So you add a Malcolm Butler. Now you're talking about a pretty formidable defensive back for the Tennessee.
And now, on the offensive ball, they also, from the Pats too, now they also have Dion Lewis.
That's right. They picked up Dion Lewis for that backfield. So you have to like what the Titans have been doing this offseason. A playoff team last year. You'd have to expect they're going to be right back in the mix for playoff contention again this year.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we caught wind of some breaking news this evening, so we wanted to jump on and get a quick video out there. Thank you for checking out the Dad and Cole Football Patrol. Do us a favor. If you love football, if you're a family, you got a dad and son, a daughter, a mom, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, niece, whatever you got going on, if you're a family household and you're crazy about the NFL like we are, please do hit subscribe. We're going to keep getting ramping up, but hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the content we put out there that we passionately share about our love for the NFL. Take care, guys.
See ya.